Good day to you. How you doing? Another day, another vlog. Um, I hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. I'm going to dive right into looking at the comments from the last video. Um, yeah, and address some of those. I keep on looking at the wrong place. Hi, how's it going? Good to see you. See you, Drifter. This is a nice, quite hardy poster actually. I got from an event. I'm trying to think what it's from now, but Nintendo created it and very kindly sent me some. I like them. They're very nice. Anyway, so let's look at these comments real quick. Bradley News 11. Hi Brad, how's it going? What's up? Asked, how difficult would I say Super Challenge is? Super Meat Boy hard or even more difficult? Um, it's it's hard to say compared to Meat Boy. I played Super Meat Boy a little bit, and there's definitely moments in that that are really hard, but once you know it, you can get through it. So I suppose in some ways it may be similar to that, I guess. Super Challenge is definitely more difficult than the regular mods. I could definitely say that. Because I've obviously been working on Super Challenge and playing through it and worrying that, is this hard enough to be called Super Challenge? And I recently went back to the original mods because, we're doing the updating the iOS version, which has been submitted, by the way. Last night we submitted that to Apple, so hopefully that will be ready for release the next week or two. 20 ghost levels and actually working on iOS 8 and beyond. Yay. So when I went back to the original one to play that, to test that, yeah, it's I definitely noticed the difference. So Super Challenge is pretty hard. Is it crazy? Oh my gosh, the hardest thing ever? No, no. It's I think it's a fair, reasonable challenge that steps up a couple of levels above the original game, which I think is good. So I think some levels are really freaking hard. I think the easiest level in Super Challenge is probably on par with the hardest in the regular mods, I guess, and then it gets up a little bit more difficult than that on some level. So yeah, somewhere in that range. Yeah, something like that. All right. Oh yeah, so Sean Zafar asked a couple of times ago, and he posted the question again, which I appreciate. Thank you. Because I'm only going to check back one video comment, in the past to do this. Otherwise, yeah, it'll be forever. It'll take me forever to do this. Asked about partnering with VD Dev, who did Ironfall for the 3DS, which is a really their engine's incredible. I mean, I remember when I first saw the videos of that, I was like, man, that is awesome. But no, honestly, no, I can't see us teaming up with anyone really at this point for a 3DS game. Just because I feel like the 3DS market, you can see that it's going to be coming to an end. Not anytime soon, but I would think certainly it should be popular and successful this holiday, 2016. But holiday 2017, I would imagine that would start to be the decline of the 3DS market as far as it's beyond its, highest, potential. I would imagine either last Christmas or maybe even, I guess probably this Christmas, 2016 will probably be the biggest potential for it, as far as how well it does at Christmas and stuff. But, that also all depends on the NX and when that's released and how that impacts that market. So, which we don't know at this point, whether it's a handheld, home console, both, neither, whatever. We don't know what the NX is. So, I think 2016 is probably going to be the last big Christmas for the 3DS. And 2017 will be a decline in comparison to 2016. And to make a big FPS 3D glitzy, awesome looking game like I imagine you'd want us to do, if we teamed up with VideoDeb to do a FPS or a third person or whatever, it would take a year at least to make that game. So yeah, I think it's unlikely we'll be teaming up with anyone to do a 3DS game right now. It's just too late in the console's life, unfortunately. And plus, also, it's a logistical nightmare to even do that. So, I haven't even thought about it in much detail, but it wouldn't be an easy thing to do. Ridley126 asks if I'd consider streaming or recording me doing pixel art. Maybe. I mean, it would take a while. It wouldn't be like a quick 5, 10, or 15, or even 20, 30-minute thing. It would be quite a long thing just to get anything that looked half decent. And I'm relatively fast at doing pixel art work. It just takes some time, you know. So maybe someday, but I'd have to get a proper setup for that. And it would be separate than these random waffles. It'd be much longer. But yeah, I'd like to someday. But yeah, I would like to. But I'm not sure. I have no plans to do it in the near future right now. Any other questions? So Philip Elder asks if I'll be going to PAX South at the end of January. Probably not, but I am planning on going to PAX East in April. Is it April? I think it's April in Boston. So if anyone's going to go there, let me know so we can meet up and talk about video games and stuff. Any chance we'll see a RPG from Renegade Kid in the future? Yeah, definitely. As you can see from our games, we like to do different genres, and an RPG would be awesome. I'd love to do one. I would lean towards more of the Zelda action RPG personally, or even more of the Mystery Dungeon kind of style, more than anything else. But anything's possible. Yeah, no, we'd love to do that. It'd be fun. We'll be porting any. Oh, so that. Okay, who is that? That was from. Sorry, that was from Professor Whom or Hom. Whatever. I'm not going to go there. All right. So wow, I'm going to try and get this name right. Shazaib Hussein. Hussein. Shazaib. 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 Hussein, I think. Anyway, hi Shazay. How you doing? I'll call you Shaz. Can I call you Shaz? I don't know. Sorry. All right. Will we be porting any of our other games to iOS, such as Zero Drifter? No, we don't have any plans to do that right now. The port of Muds to iOS was a really big job. Actually, it was a lot of work. And even though we've done a lot of work, to get that done, it does lend some help to doing future 2D games to that, but it still is a lot of specific work to get that working as well as it does on that platform. So yeah, probably unlikely. Isn't Matthew's most fun thing to do as far as working on the iOS stuff, so very unlikely. So yeah, excuse me. But I'd like it to, but no, probably not going to happen. But I think it would be really neat, but I doubt. You know what? We'll see how if the updates receive really well on Muds, and people, drop money on getting the 20 extra levels, that will certainly increase our interest in that market, for sure. City has it on the PS4. Also looking forward to the Muds update. Oh, on iOS, I guess. I own it on 3DS, been waiting for it to play on iOS again. So cool. Well, hopefully we're ready soon, and you'll get to dive in again, man. Any chance? I Dead Maker 1 asked, any chance of Colt County coming back? Yeah, definitely maybe. Definitely maybe someday, but not working on it right now. But yes, someday that'd be cool. Alright. Oh, okay, so Codename DX asks if Super Challenge is basically Muds 2, or would Muds 2 be an entirely different game? Muds 2 would be an entirely different game, but Super Challenge has increased in scope beyond the original kind of concept. It was supposed to be more of a literal kind of lost levels kind of thing, where we take the assets from the original game, create a bunch of harder levels, and there you go, we're done. But we've just gone way beyond that, with not only creating whole new worlds and themes to play in, there's bosses and all kind, and just new features, all kinds of new, with the secret characters, the hidden gems, blah blah, lots of cool added stuff. We just had to add in there to make it cool. So I think it would be fair to say that it is a sequel. I think we could call it Muds 2, but no. The Muds 2 that we've always had in our mind is a different game than what Super Challenge is. So yeah, so Muds 2 could still happen whenever that may or may not happen. I hope it will. We'll see how things roll. So Bo says it's pronounced Fable. Bo Fable. Awesome. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Antonio San Pedro asks, have we considered some Street Pass functionality for our game, something to encourage replay? Yeah, definitely. We have considered that. It's just a lot of extra work to do that networking type stuff, and we never seem to have that time to do it. Just because we need to get games out to make money to make more games. So. But yeah, I am intrigued by that. We've talked about it a lot, but never been afforded the time and luxury to do such things, unfortunately. Um, I'd buy that for $1, says Zia Drifter 2. That is all. Yes, that would be that would be cool. I'd love to do that. It's not being worked on right now, but that would be cool. How Kingboo922 asks, how large of a game do you think you guys could handle in terms of gameplay, hours, or world size? Not that I need another 100-hour RPG, but most of your games I beat in 2 to 3 hours, but replay a lot. I mean, us as we are, we know, yeah, we definitely focus on smaller games. You know, we're a small team that have to get games out to make money to make more games. So right now we kind of are where we are, but you know. That's another, I guess, another discussion as well as far as the value versus big games versus small games and stuff. So, but I'm pretty happy with what we're doing right now. I mean, because the price of them, of our games are pretty reasonable, I think, considering. So I think it works. I think it works out pretty good. And I don't think there's any other questions unless there's something hidden down here saying show more. Can't load comments. Okay, weird, whatever. So maybe, there we go, whatever. So there's that. Wow, that took 11 minutes just to go over that. Which is cool though. I mean, I'm really glad you guys have questions. It's hopefully that helps you guys understand more what we're up to or what I'm up to. And if you have any more, please feel free to post them on this comment section here. So today, what have I been working on? I've been actually looking at the boss rooms for Mud's Super Challenge. Let me think. I guess, yeah, actually ones that really haven't been revealed yet, I suppose. One there was a sneak peek of in one of the trailers. But anyway, just kind of playing around with the artwork in the background, you know, because we do the initial artwork just to kind of really figure out what the basic shape is and where can Max run and stuff, and what, you know, where can the boss be and all that kind of stuff. And then we get it in there, and we play it, and then we move on to something else. So now it's nice for me to come back and go, all right, play that. Oh, it looks a bit bare. Let's put some stuff in the background. Let's put this, let's dress it up a little bit, so it looks a bit richer and a bit more interesting. So yeah, I was kind of working on that today actually for a couple of the bosses. One of the bosses, who is a rather large boss that when you shoot, you just kind of push him back. And there's another smaller enemy in there which you can shoot as a regular enemy. They were originally both, just mud, and the fact that you couldn't damage the large mud boss character is okay. I think we could go with that. But I turned him into more of has like armor around him, he's like his metal plated or something. I don't know, whatever. So I kind of tried that and put that in there today. So we'll see. We'll see if we stick with that or not. I have the old one still, if I want to revert back to that. I kind of like the idea of him looking different and unique, especially as his boss character. We'll see. Anyway, so I did that. I did that today as well. And we'll also see how Matthew responds to that, because he hasn't seen it yet. So he might be like, what's going on? There's no way. So he might be like, this is awesome, or you're insane. No way. We'll have to see. Have to see what reaction we get from that. But so yeah, worked on that. That's pretty much it, I think. Yeah, kind of going back to the Super Challenge. Yeah, because like I said, we submitted the iOS mods yesterday, which is awesome. So that's great. Oh, and we actually continued in discussions with the publisher about the other game that I mentioned a couple of days ago. More of a smaller project, working with a publisher to do something. So that's looking pretty good. So that's exciting. I'm really excited about that. Like I said, it's not Muds or Dimension or Zero Drift or anything like that. It's definitely a different type of game, which some of you may love, some of you may have absolutely no interest for. It's just a different type of thing, but yeah, it's pretty cool. So that's nice. It's nice. It's a pretty small project, and it's nice to kind of be able to create little games like this. The publisher, it helps them business-wise, helps us business-wise. Creatively, I think it'll be an interesting challenge as well. And also just from a development experience, will be really good because it would be utilizing Unity, which we've dabbled with and had some fun with. So yeah, so that's pretty cool. So that's moving along pretty good so far, touch wood. So hopefully that will continue because I think that'll be a fun little project. So we're at 15 minutes. So I guess I'll call it a day. Um, and I will see you next time. So I hope you're having a fantastic day. Take care, be good to each other, and I'll see you next time.